Welcome to our channel. If you're a fan of Chelsea Football Club or just interested in the latest updates about the team, you've come to the right place. We're excited to share our content with you and hope you'll subscribe. Hit the notification bell and leave your feedback in the comments section. Let's stay connected and up to date on all things Chelsea together. Frank Lampard faces the biggest task of his managerial career as Chelsea seek to overturn a 2-0 deficit in the Champions League quarter-final second leg against Real Madrid on Tuesday. But luckily, the club's all-time top scorer has experience coming from behind in these types of games. It was Lampard that led the dramatic 2012 last 16 fightback on the pitch at Stamford Bridge against Napoli, as Roberto Di Matteo masterminded an incredible path to the final. The midfielder had the ability to turn games on their head on the pitch, and former teammate Gary Cahill sees a way he can defeat the odds once more, this time as coach. As a player, he was a leader but led by example in terms of the work he did on the training pitch, the work he put in after. Cahill told football.london. He was vocal when he had to be, but he very much led by example, and moving into the game against Real Madrid, the one thing he can bring is a massive amount of experience in the competition. Lampard has so far failed to oversee much any improvement from his side, losing 3 from 3 since taking over as interim manager. The loss to Brighton on Saturday was the worst possible way to prepare for a game of this magnitude, but Cahill believes Lampard has what is needed to inspire his group to unlikely victory. Lampard has exactly what they need tomorrow, so in terms of that, he's got bundles and bundles of experience he can pass on to these players for these occasions and these nights and what they mean at Stamford Bridge, Cahill explained. He's very bright and very clever guy that's not short of confidence, so he'll be able to put a speech across to the players. Lampard himself has explained that his role is less about being a tinkerman on the training field and more to create a positive environment in the group. With a 33-man squad and 8 players missing out against Madrid due to the squad limitations, it's a skill that the Blues great will be able to get across to his troops. You see managers say now that all the work will be done over these last couple of days leading into the game, and when they go over the white line, he can impact in terms of changes and stuff, but he will want to pass on everything he can pass on that will help this team by then, added Cahill. Tactically, every element of the game is going to be so important against this sort of team, tactically, physically, mentally, what it means to play for this club. I'm sure he'll be passing all these messages on and preparing them in the best way he can. It was the lack of charisma and macho energy that did for Graham Potter at times in his short stint, something Lampard can bring in abundance. But the ex-Everton and Derby County boss has already been criticized for his lack of tactical acumen. Given the relatively simple 4-3-3 that his opposite number Carlo Ancelotti tends to use, Cahill believes that Lampard will be able to adapt accordingly in order to create an advantage. It's difficult because intelligent players and top footballers will adapt, but at the same time, to have that consistency, you see the top teams that go on and perform well year after year, there's a lot of consistency involved in that. Cahill was part of the miracle in Munich in 2012, having joined the club less than 6 months earlier. He was part of the impressive and resilient defense that played behind Lampard on the way to winning the trophy for the first time in Chelsea's history. That came in a rigid back four, but the now retired English international also shone in a 5-man defense under Antonio Conte. Again, players can adapt, and when we were leading into games in the past, we always had a style for who we were against, and really good managers. Top managers change for each individual game, even subtly, he explained. They'll see the opposition and have a game plan for them and work on it in training. I see Frank being like that and having a game plan, a structure, a shape, and I'm sure they will have worked on the principles of what he wants to do over the past few days, whether that's a 4 or that's a 5. Players should adapt to the system. But it's not like it's being thrown together. It would have been put together the next day after the Brighton game. When that finished, I'm sure he's tried to put that in the dustbin and focus on this game now. Whereas the legendary side from Cahill's past were still competing in the league for a top 4 place and a domestic trophy, there's no such reason for the current setup to be in top form. He said, "The motivation isn't there. There's nothing in the league or FA Cups to play for or anything like that, but the motivation is for this competition, because if you lose and you go out, then you win nothing. That's a motivation in itself, and you shouldn't have to drive the players for motivation. It's just going to be if he gets this right tactically against this team, and who performs well on the day." Despite the odds being well and truly stacked against Chelsea, it is under those circumstances that they tend to flourish, and Cahill isn't ruling out a huge turnaround at SW6 once more. "There's enough in the squad to go on and do well. Better than they're doing well in the league for sure, but they can turn the tie around." We're talking about Real Madrid here. They're unbelievable in the competition and unbelievable in managing the game and playing with experience. They've got bundles of it. It's going to be an uphill task, but the European nights at Stamford Bridge are special, and they've got the added bit of spice and extra volume. They need the first goal. That's key. Then I think you'll really see the atmosphere kick in at Stamford Bridge. BT Sport is the exclusive home of the UEFA Champions League. Watch Chelsea v Real Madrid live on BT Sport 1 on Tuesday, April 18th from 7 p.m. Don't miss any Chelsea news. Subscribe to our channel right now and activate the notification bell to receive alerts whenever we post a new video. And don't forget to leave a like to help us grow. Join our community of passionate fans and stay on top of everything happening in the world of Chelsea. Be the first to know about signings, match results, and much more.